Alright, hey everybody, Mark from North Star. We're getting ready. I'm down in Melbourne, Australia right now, and at actually at Tyab Airport, and just to the east of Melbourne. We're getting ready to do a 3-plane formation flying. We spent last night briefing, and this morning briefing what we're going to do for sortie number 1. Like I said, 3 aircraft. We got a SR-22T, an SR-22, and an SR-20. The 20 is going to be in the second position. We're going to be in the third, and the T is going to start out in the first position. So, got a few different things we're going to do. We're going to go up and do some. This is kind of a mentorship for the formation flying. So we're going to start out really basic. We'll do the run up together. We'll do interval takeoff, and then we'll climb up, join up together, do some turns, some lazy eights. We'll do a kick out, rejoin. Then we'll do a lead change, and have 3 cross under, rejoin. And we've got a whole list of things we're going to do, so everybody knows exactly where you're at. This is definitely not something you want to do without proper training or without a mentor pilot. So, yeah, we should have some good shots today, and I'll kind of take you through as we do the run up, as we do the interval takeoff, the join, and as we fly out. We're going to head to the southeast along the coast. So that should, it's probably about 20 miles to southeast. Plan is to go up to about 35, but as you'll see, we're going to follow whatever lead does. So once you're doing the formation flying, you're really doing what lead does, instead of actually worrying about what's inside your cockpit. You're just watching the plane in front of you. So, all right, I'll catch up with you guys here in a second when we get out for the run-up. See the 2 other aircraft in front of us. So formation flying is all about precision. That starts from the startup. We all started up at the exact same time. We taxied out, keeping the same distance on run up. We're all doing the run, then we'll do the interval takeoff. So it really starts on the ground, and it's all about being as precise as humanly possible. First Cirrus rolling out. Second one number 3. So you can see the SR-20 right off our nose. It's probably a little bit hard to see. It's getting ready to join up with the 22T that's out in front. So the T is going to make a left-hand turn. The 20 is going to drop in on its inside wing, and they're going to join up. Once those guys join up, the lead is going to start a right-hand turn, and we're going to drop in behind his right wing. And they make the turns because it makes it easier for the guys behind to catch up as you're coming out on the inside, so you have a shorter radius. They're going to cover the same amount of ground more quickly, I should say. So you can see this 20 joining up, and we're just following here, just keeping them in sight until they join up. So this is our first time doing this with this group, so it's going to take a little bit for them to kind of get into place. It's kind of a weird feeling being this close to airplanes for folks, so it takes a little bit of time to kind of get in place, get set up. And we'll be off the right wing of lead once we get set up here. We'll be off the right wing and below. We're looking for the main gear on the right hand side to match up with the nose gear. So you can see there's the SR-20. Alright, so we got in front of them just a little bit. We're going to have to throttle back quite a bit. We're on the inside. Alright, so now we're getting in a little bit better position. We're going to have to throttle up quite a bit here to keep up. Alrighty, now we're going to start our turn out to the southeast. We're currently on the east heading right now. So all we're paying attention to is staying on lead. We want to stay between lead 6 and 3 o'clock. We're trying to be 45 degrees off the, we want our nose to basically be 45 off the lead's nose. So you can see the nose gear and the main gear. We want basically the main tire to be behind the nose tire. That kind of puts us at the 45 degree point. And we want to make sure we stay on this side. And the 20 off our wing over here is going to stay between the 9 o'clock and 6 o'clock position. You can see that lead hit a dip, we hit a dip. So it's pretty neat to actually see the relative motion between the aircraft. Alright, so we're turning to the southeast. We're actually to the south now. And we're just trying to get those, we're getting sucked a little bit, which means we're behind in position. So now you can see that the mains are almost lining up. So this is about the position we're a little bit high, but this is about the position that we're looking for. You can see now we're getting sucked a little bit, which means we're dropping back. If we were going forward, it'd be acute. So as we go in the top of the turn here, we're going to need a lot more power because we're farther out. We have a bigger radius. We're going to need lots of power to keep our speed up. And you can say we're getting a little bit acute, so we're rolling forward of the airplane, so we're going to have to retard the throttle. And when you're in this position, it's going to feel like you're kind of getting, or sliding into the position below you, but you're really both on the radius of the turn, so you don't have to worry about it. 20 drop back just a little bit out of position. Alright, so we didn't catch that on video, but the lead started waggling their tail. So as lead waggles the tail, that means everybody's going to separate out. And we're doing what's called a kick out. We're going to come out here, do a kick out. Once everybody gets spread out in the kick out distance, you're just setting a distance so you're comfortable to look away from lead, check engine gauges, switch fuel, do things like that. You never want to do that when you're in formation. So if you needed the kick out, you know, to look over stuff, or if you had an issue, do a kick out. And then once you do an ops check, everything's good. We're going to rejoin. Alright, so here you can see we're set up pretty well. A nice formation. And I'll give you just an outside shot real quick. Play tourist for just a second. Like I said, we're just outside of Melbourne, Australia, actually at Mornington, Australia, which is just to the southeast of Melbourne.
Perfect place. Good.
Alright, so we're starting right-hand turn. So we're on the inside. So we need a little bit less power. The outside guy, see how he got sucked a little bit? And he needs a lot more power. He's on the outside of the turn. He's got a bigger radius to fly. And he has to climb a little bit because we're doing welded wing turns. That means we're trying to stay basically on the same plane as their wing.
Now back off the throttle a little bit. You're going to catch him.
So you can see we're getting a little close, so we cut our power back just a little bit. And we're kind of drifting towards the plane. And right now, with flying this setup, the person that's flying the airplane has no idea what their engine gauges say, what their instruments say, what speed they're going, what altitude they're at. The only thing they're watching is that lead aircraft. The only thing the SR-20 is watching is that lead aircraft. It's that SR-20's job to stay between the 9 and 6 o'clock position. It's our job to stay between the 3 and 6. And the only thing we pay attention to is that lead aircraft. Things happen so quickly if his engine just coughs a little bit. We need to make sure that we're in a position below him and inside, so he would pass right over top of us. So even though it looks like from the ground you don't have separation, you actually do have some separation.
No, maybe not. Take off a little more. You're going acute.
Alright, so we got acute a little bit, so you can see how the nose wheel is separated from the rear main, or the right side rear main.
Alright, give us some gas.
There you go, and you can see how quickly he slid out in front of us. so we're probably getting ready for a lead change here. After we get done with this set of lazy 8s. And what we'll be looking for is lead to waggle his tail. When lead waggles his tail, that's going to be the kick out. That means we'll both slide out to a comfortable position. Lead and number 2 will switch. We're going to stay in the 3rd position. There's the tail waggle. Alright, so that means we're going to kick out. You see the other 20 sliding back out. We're going to stay in the 45-degree line, so try to keep the main gear and the nose gear lined up, or we're just going to slide farther out. 5, 6 plane lengths. And lead is going to drop back. And you'll see the number 2 position right now. They'll climb in front of the lead. Alright, so you can see the lead change right here.
He's going to join in. Stay there.
2's coming past 1.
Let him join in.
2 is now in the lead.
Well, we need to wait for lead to instruct us to rejoin.
And number 2 is now formed up on the new lead's right wing.
Pretty, huh?
Alright, so you can see we're set up really nice right now.
A little less gas. You get right.
There's number 2 off of our wing. There's lead. It's a little bumpy out here, but if one plane bumps, all planes bump, so not too big of a deal.
Do another turn to the left to stay.
Alright, so now we're heading back to the field. We're still number 3 position. We're still on the lead here. There's a number 2 position off our wing. Alright, so what's going to happen as we come into the field here is the lead right here is going to put us on a 3-mile initial. So about 4 miles out, they'll start the initial. We're going to line up an echelon. So we're all going to be on the same side as lead. Same side of lead. Lead will line us up on a 3-mile initial. We'll come over the field. When lead gets to about the numbers on the opposite end of the runway, lead's going to brake in this hand. In this case, it's going to be left pattern. So lead's going to do a 60-degree bank to the left. We're going to count 4 seconds. And after that 4 seconds, we're going to do our number 2 position is going to do a 60-degree bank to the left.
Stay right where you were.
And we will count from when lead went. When number 2 goes, we're going to count the same interval, and we will be 60 degrees. Bank to the left. Lead will touch down a little bit long. We will touch down a little bit shorter, and number 2 will touch down a little bit shorter, and number 3 will touch down basically on the numbers. So all 3 of us will be on the runway as we land. 1 will be rolling out, 2 will be somewhere 3/4 of the way down, and we'll be touching down. To show position here, we're in about perfect position right now on lead. You look, the wheel pants are lined up. The tires are touching the main and the front. Alright, so now you can see we just crossed under. Getting ready to come into the field. Now we're lined up in echelon.